One rapid fire tip for all of the beginner mechs inside of Mech Arena. This video is assuming that you're a beginner in Mech Arena, but if you're a more experienced Mech Arena player watching this video, then feel free to chime in with a couple tips that you feel like I missed down below in the comments, man. Tip number one for Paragon. You do have the option with Paragon to invest 65 A coins into your 1-star Paragon that you get on your account to turn this into a 16 energy mech in the early game, allowing you to equip a couple of long arm 8s or some other combination of 8 energy weapons. And that can be pretty good. It's only 65 A coins. You do have that option, but that's all it is. Just an option. Do be aware that even if you do rank your Paragon up to 3 stars and use it for this job in the earliest weeks of your new Mech Arena account, you're still probably going to replace the Paragon within like 2 or 3 weeks of your free-to-play account anyway, right? You're still going to replace it very, very quickly, even if you make that investment. Next up, Lancer. Avoid this mech. I know that Lancer has a crazy little fan club going, and a good Lancer player with like a maxed out Lancer can be really bloody annoying to deal with. And you can do really, really funny things with it on certain maps and stuff like that. But again, for beginner players watching this video, do not be putting your A coins into ranking up your Lancer. The energy capacity takes a hell of a lot of upgrades to get up to a decent place all the way along the way until it's like rank 6. Its energy cap is just way too low. Its health is way too low. And frankly, you need those A coins to be spending into other things. If you then want to go back once you're at like Gear Hub tier 7 or whatever, and eventually go back and max up a Lancer, consider it a happy little passion project that you can then do to reward yourself for getting to a certain point in the Gear Hub. Fair enough, man, knock yourself out. Until then, leave the Lancer alone. It's a little bit awkward that some of the tips for some of these beginner mechs are going to be to ignore them completely, but that's just kind of going to be the nature of it. Hey man, if you're going to start off a new Mech Arena account, by the way, with a free legendary mech to start off your new Mech Arena account, in which case you're definitely going to be buying, not going to be buying some of these mechs that we're going to be covering, then look no further than the beginner promo link that is down below this video at the top of the description box. Click on that link on laptop or PC, use that link to create your new Mech Arena account, man, to get your hands on Brick House, the Epic Pilot Impulse, and a couple of Cryo Launcher 8s, which would otherwise cost you like 3,000 A coins to buy those Cryo Launchers, by the way. Best beginner promo going, and the best possible way to start off a new Mech Arena account in 2025. Next up, man, this brings us to Puma. The advice for Puma is, yeah, it only costs you like 45 A coins to grab. Just ignore it completely. Similar to Paragon, not very good. Not very good in spite of its pretty decent energy capacity for like a brand new account at least. The shield wall health sits at around 12,000, which is nothing, like almost nothing at all. It might as well just not have a shield. And of course, it costs you A coins, so you should be very, very skeptical about spending your A coins on these super early game mechs. Anyway, next up, man, we've got the Slingshot. My quick tip for Slingshot is going to be, don't try and kill anything with your dash ability, okay? It does like 4,000 damage, which is bloody nothing. It's not going to kill anything. And more than anything, your Slingshot is also very, very squishy. What you want to be doing instead with your Slingshot and its dash is frankly using it to run away. Run away and reposition using things like javelin racks and stuff like that on your slingy, and just hiding, right? And using your dash to make sure that people just don't get anywhere near you. That's kind of the best use for the dash on the Slingshot, keeping yourself out of trouble more than anything. Next up, Juggernaut. I still to this day don't know how I got Juggernaut on my free-to-play account, by the way. I don't know why this is unlocked. My tip for Juggernaut is going to be skip it. It's not very good. Its energy cap is very, very low when you first buy it. It makes up for that with its tankiness, but is it really that tanky? I don't know. It costs A coins. I just go ahead, man, and skip out on the Juggernaut. It doesn't even have the advantage of having like a decent energy cap, like a 3-star Paragon might, you know, so it's very, very difficult to make a case for it. MD, tip for MD is going to be buy it and then basically never use it, man. You might use it in like 1 or 2 games. It costs you credits to unlock. Very, very cheap. Get it for the stars to advance your Gear Hub, and then just leave it alone, man. Next up, the Guardian Mech. The first mech that you can consider spending A coins on in the super early game. Tip for the Guardian Mech is that its system crash skill is absolutely busted, right? Disables weapons and puts abilities on cooldown. What the system crash skill doesn't say, and that new players might not be aware of, is that the system crash skill instantly deletes any enemy barriers. Huge Aegis dome shields just get one-shotted. Any kind of Panther sort of wall shields that get put out instantly get one-shotted. Very, very nice. Me, I'm a big fan of loading up the Guardian in the super early game with a couple of Ember Guns and just abusing the hell out of it in the likes of free-for-all matches. The footage that's playing on screen right now is actually a little bit of deathmatch action. It can do just fine here as well. Also pretty darn good for shooting down Aegis barriers also, right? We'll just instantly disable the Aegis barrier from being held on up, which is lovely. And as you can see, man, comboed it up with those Ember Guns, all kinds of just close range prowess for just abusing this mech on those smaller maps. For me, the first A-coin investment that's probably worth your while. Next up, and that brings us to Shadow. Probably just a skip. Let's be real, man. Especially, again, like, I know there's gonna be some experienced players watching this video who talk about, oh man, Lancer is worth building. What do you talk about? Oh, Shadow actually has a niche. You could look to build a Shadow maybe one day. We're talking about beginner tips here for beginner mechs, right? Don't go recommending that beginner players invest in Shadow, guys. You've got to take into account, man, there's going to be a lot of new players watching this video, man. Shadow is not an A-coin investment that you want to look at anytime soon, especially while you are not still advancing through the gear hub, okay? You're advancing through the gear hub, there's a lot of mechs, a lot of guns that you're going to have to spend A-coins on to grab. You cannot afford to be spending those A-coins on grabbing a Shadow. It just doesn't offer enough. Next up, the Ares mech. Tip with the Ares is actually just quite a simple one, and that is switch your loadouts often on the Ares, man. The Ares isn't the kind of mech where you just want to load it up with like Ember Guns or something and it's one and done and you're good. Like that's your Ares build for the next month or two or whatever. It's not like that with the Ares, man. If there's a free-for-all tournament going on, go ahead and use the Ares with its wide shield ability and its decent health and actually relatively okay movement speeds for such a big tanky boy. Use it as like a brawler tank in free-for-all with like fragment guns or ember guns or whatever. You can also load it up with things like cryo launchers, for example, during like CPC or something like that. During certain team deathmatch maps, or maybe on CPC, you could load it up with like helix racks or javelin racks and use it as like a missile platform or even like a long arm sniper platform if that's where your account is at right now. And then you can use it with something like the cryo launchers on a deathmatch instead. It pays a lot to be switching your loadout with the Ares often, in my view. It's actually a very versatile tank mech because of just how its shield functions, right? A frontal shield. Next up, we've got the Stalker. I'm a little bit divided as to whether or not to recommend spending the A-coins to grab the Stalker. I'm leaning towards no, but I don't think it's the biggest mistake in the world to spend the A-coins on your Stalker when you're advancing the gear hub if you want to invest the 420 A-coins. Again, I'd lean towards a no, and again, save your A-coins on this one. I think the Guardian is a special case compared to the Stalker, but the tip for the Stalker is just another one of those great mechs to use alongside the likes of helix racks and javelin racks, and using it as a missile platform, in my opinion. It's like the hidden strength of the Stalker. Why? You can actually pop the Stalker's Predator Drive ability while your missiles are mid-flight, okay, and get the bonus damage from Predator Drive. How much bonus damage? 50% before your Helix Rack missiles land, and while the Helix Rack missiles are mid-flight, and you can still cash in on that bonus damage, which is a substantial damage bonus for a weapon as bursty as the Helixes. You also take 25% increased damage, but that just makes the Stalker even better with javelins and helixes and stuff like that, because you shouldn't be in a position to be taking damage anyway if you're using that kind of guided lock-on gun. You should be somewhere nice and safe, hiding behind terrain and not putting yourself in any risk anyway. And so, yeah, Helix Rack platform would be my recommendation for the Stalker if you do decide to invest in it. Next up, we've got the Tengu. You get the Tengu completely for free if you just play the game for 30 days, so there's absolutely no circumstance ever where you should be actually buying the Tengu for A-coins, given that you get it completely for free. There's not much to say about Tengu, to be honest, other than, again, it's another one of those mechs that you just probably shouldn't rank up. Once you've cleared through your gear hub, fair enough, you can go back, and if you want to build the Tengu as like a passion project or something like that, yeah, you can totally go ahead and do that, but spending A-coins to rank up this particular rare mech, probably not worth your time, given it takes a whole bunch of rank ups to significantly impact its energy capacity, and those are A-coins that you just want to be spending advancing the gear hub. Anyway, next up, Arachnos. The tip here is that this is very likely, especially if you didn't put any stars and rank up your Paragon when you start off your new Mech Arena account, which I think most people probably won't. It's something I experimented with on my free-to-play account, by the way, ranking up the Paragon. Probably wasn't worth it, but I thought that I'd give it a shot anyway. If you haven't ranked up your Paragon, Arachnos might well be your very first 16 energy capacity mech, which is very, very saucy when you first get it, right? It means you can load it up with 2 lots of Helix Rack 8s, maybe just a couple of long arm 8s if you've already got the Helix Racks or something on somebody else, you know, that's also totally fine. 16 energy mech though, take advantage of it. Just be aware that, you know, it's 14 speed, it's not particularly tanky, its mech ability sucks in the spider turret. Do not rank this mech up under almost any circumstances, but it is a 16 energy cap platform that can be used as like a backline, you know, guided weapons platform, that kind of deal. Not much really to say about the Arachnos men. Next up, the Redeemer. 16 energy scout mech when you first buy the Son of a Gun, which is automatically pretty good, and it comes with the backtrack skill, returns this mech to where it was standing moments ago, and when upgraded, it will also start removing certain debuffs, right? Increasingly more and more debuffs in the game, the more you rank up the mech from 5 stars and beyond, which is a nice little bonus. That said, this thing costs a fat chunk of air coins. My tip for this one is going to be to, again, just skip it while you're advancing the gear hub. Consider going back for it at a later time. Next up, we've got the Aegis. The first mech that you might actually be taking up to 6 stars is potentially your very first 6-star mech on your account. Man, Aegis comes with the Dome Shield, which has 300,000 health on this Dome Shield, which is just unbelievable and blows everything out of the water that you've encountered so far on your Mech Arena account until you grab the Aegis, man. Tip for the Aegis is going to be quite simple. While you are in Gear Hub Tier 5, consider ranking up your Aegis while you are in Gear Hub Tier 5 so that that star then contributes towards unlocking the next Gear Hub Tier. You can chill out a little bit in Gear Hub Tier 5 and get that rank up on the Aegis while you're here, just to make sure that that star actually counts for something, rather than upgrading the Aegis later on, where those stars from getting, you know, those stats just aren't going to count for anything for advancing your gear hub to a certain point, so gotta be careful of that. Besides that, playing exclusively around your Dome Shield and just never ever really putting yourself at risk on the Aegis is the way to be. When you first unlock this mech, it's going to be an absolute monster, with the only counter to this sucker being, well, unless you're into like some crazy Eclipse Sage player or something on the enemy team, okay, fine, you're going to struggle against that too, just being rushed down. But besides that, like the Guardian Mech System Crash is like the only thing that can adequately deal with this Dome Shield when you first get this guy. It's going to be an absolute monster when you first grab it. Next up, man, we've got the Zephyr. Tip for the Zephyr is going to be another quite simple one. Zephyr might be a support mech, but the Zephyr is the very first mech that you get that is like a real Giga Chad close range specialist. What I mean by that is the Zephyr can take advantage of guns that other close range mechs struggle to take advantage of at this point on your account, right? You get the Zephyr for credits, so it's a very, very obvious buy there anyway. It triggers an EMP pulse, applying an EMP effect that stops enemy mechs from moving or attacking, which makes the Zephyr a very, very good mech to combo with. The likes of these Stormrack 6s are very, very good. Legendary credits weapon right here, crazy splash damage and just burst fire on these suckers. You can also combo it with the likes of Missile Racks, probably not the Missile Rack 8s because these cost air coins, but Missile Racks. It's a mech that can hold enemies still and get off these huge barrages of damage that you just haven't had access to just yet, especially Revokers also. This is the very first mech that you're going to get on your account that you can combo with the most powerful gun in the game, Revoker 6s, which are usually reserved for the likes of the Eclipse and for the Surge and maybe Seekers, all of which are legendary mechs. The Zephyr's the first mech you're going to grab that's very, very accessible that can make use of these suckers. And finally, we have the Cheetah, which to end this video on a whiff, just don't get this mech, it's not very good. It costs 8 coins and it's just not worth it, man. And I guarantee there's going to be some people out there watching this video right now that absolutely love Cheetah and are just going to rage in the comments down below this video, man. But my advice for that is just dodge it. And so there you have it, man. Hopefully this video was helpful to any beginners watching this video, man. It's just some tips for some of the super beginner mechs to help you get off to a pretty decent start. Make sure you're not investing your resources in the wrong things and getting more value out of the mechs that you do choose to invest your resources into. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy, man. If you're looking to start off a new Mech Arena account, man, make sure that you do it the right way, which is by using the beginner promo link down below this video at the top of the description box, man. Click on that link, use it to create your new Mech Arena account for all of the free stuff that you see on screen right now.